Hi, welcome. It's time for my campaign update, State of the Union, and State of the World Affairs message for today. My name is Susan Maud Buchser-Lochocki. I am a presidential candidate from the 2024 presidential election. And as a lot of you know, I am still a candidate. I have not conceded the election because there was a lot of fraud in the system. And I am not ready to concede. I think one of the big problems in our country is corruption. And it's not just in our country, but I am a citizen of our country. And so I have to start here. This is my place of birth, and I love the USA. So it is important that we stand on 2 feet with integrity in our country and show the world how to live in a good and proper way. And so that's part of my reason for getting into politics in the first place. I'm actually a mother and an artist by trade. And, I was working on a peace project, and that's what got me involved. And then I discovered a lot of other issues that needed work on. And so, I'm sticking around because my platform is crucial to being that leader that I'd like the U.S. to return to. We were once a leader. We've fallen in our stature a bit, but it's time to come back to that. So, anyways, welcome. So I do want to talk about my lawsuit because this is the month where, we sort of somehow celebrate the fact that women can vote now. But we've got a lot of Christian fanatical men and possibly Muslim fanatical men who don't want women's votes counted. And they're actually not counting them, I believe. And this is where part of the problem is. I mean, with the manipulation of votes through the machines or through fake ballots or through multiple, voting in multiple states, counties, towns, people are just getting away with complete fraud. And it's coming not only from the people, but it's also coming from inside the parties. And I'm going to say it's actually mostly inside the parties. The parties are working for their own agenda. And the Christians have been busy trying to turn our country into a Christian country when it was never intended to be that. And this is part of the problem. So, and they've been keeping women down and out for centuries. And this is also not what our country was about. Because if I can hold a U.S. citizen passport, then I am a U.S. citizen. And so I have all the same rights as my male citizens. So there is no difference between a female and a male citizen. Or ultimately, an intersex person can also have the same rights, of course. So on the 26th of this month, I will be in Washington, D.C. protesting at the Supreme Court because that's where, my lawsuit is, first off, and that's a little bit what my lawsuit's about. But I've discovered that a lot of people really don't want women to vote in our country. And so they are specifically erasing women's votes by doing multiple things wrong. And they're getting away with it. And that's the saddest part. So I'll be on the 26th of August at the Supreme Court building having a peaceful protest and a summoning of truth concert because my right has definitely been violated, as well as many other female rights, where we went in and voted, but then our votes were not counted, completed incorrectly, or all sorts of things. So the list of excuses is endless. And this is unacceptable. You know, we are half the world, and certainly half the USA, and our voices matter. Period. Now, some of us are married and some of us are not, and I know that there's a lot of Christian men out there who think that, they're the head of the household, so, there's just one vote and all this. But no, there's two heads of every household. There's a partnership going on, and there is no longer this head of household concept. Then, if that is the case, if you want to go with head of household, then I'm the head of my own household. I'm not married, so I am the head of my own household. So my vote should have been counted in 2024, and it was not. I had my passport, I had my driver's license, and for whatever reason, they decided not to count my vote. But they let me vote. And this is where my question lies. So the 19th Amendment states that women have the right to vote. It doesn't specifically say that I have the right to have my vote counted. But that is implied that if I'm voting, it's going to be counted. But I'm sure that a lot of people in the government, Democrat and Republican, will argue that fact. So that is what I want to present to you today. Is it that my right is from the 19th Amendment? And you know what? Let me read it. Is it that it's only the right to vote, or is it the right to have my vote counted? I mean, I am a people, so the Constitution is mine. And so, in my opinion, I not only have the right to vote, but I have the right to have it counted. And because we have according to the 14th Amendment, we have equal protection of the laws. So if your vote is counted, my vote needs to be counted if it was cast, and it was cast. So, where's the 19th Amendment? Okay. The 19th Amendment was the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. So that means whether I'm female or male, the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of sex. So does that mean that I only have the right to vote? Because if I only have the right to vote, then all the male citizens also only have the right to vote, because it's equal under the jurisdiction, right? So then who has the right to decide what votes will be counted? There we go. Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So, Congress shall have the power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. So, Congress can't do more than that. I don't know if I like that line in there either, that, it's up to Congress, I guess. So, there's something strange going on, and it's not acceptable. And, so anyways, I have a lawsuit pending because there's a lot of fraud in the system. that is non based on sex, or maybe it is, or maybe it's race, or but how many times do we have to go over this? And is this really what the USA is about? Is it about exclusivity? Is it about keeping voices silent and domination? Is that really the USA? So I want you all to think about that. I'm going to end here and start a part 2. Okay. Thanks for stopping by.